The origin of cognitive biases dates back to the earliest recorded human thought. Yet, it wasn't until the 20th century that these mental shortcuts began to be understood as profound influences on our financial decisions. Hashtag segment 1. The ancient roots of cognitive biases. Our brains are wired with mental frameworks inherited from our ancestors. The concept of anchoring, relying too heavily on initial information, was first observed in the work of Aristotle, where he noted that people tend to evaluate new information relative to their existing understanding. For instance, imagine a farmer from ancient Greece receiving news that his crops would yield 50% more than usual. Overjoyed, he decides to invest in more land. However, when the crops actually yield only 25% more, he's devastated. Not because his crops are failing, but because they're falling short of his initial expectation. Takeaway: be aware of your anchoring bias and consider multiple scenarios before making financial decisions. Hashtag segment 2. The rise of behavioral economics. In the mid-20th century, economists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky introduced prospect theory, highlighting how humans make systematic errors when evaluating risk. This groundbreaking research paved the way for the field of behavioral economics. Consider the famous Monty Hall problem experiment. In this scenario, participants are given a choice between two doors, with one hiding a valuable prize behind it. The probabilities don't change when the other door is opened, yet many people stick with their initial choice due to confirmation bias. Takeaway: recognize how your biases affect risk assessment and consider alternative perspectives. Hashtag segment 3. Real-world applications of cognitive biases. The Enron scandal is a striking example of the impact of cognitive biases on financial decision-making. CEO Jeffrey Skilling's overconfidence in his ability to predict market trends led to catastrophic consequences. In contrast, companies like Costco and IKEA have successfully harnessed behavioral insights, such as anchoring low prices to increase sales or using visual cues to promote spending. Takeaway: be aware of how cognitive biases influence your own financial decisions and those of others in your organization. To explore more on the psychology behind money, subscribe to our channel for future episodes. Next up, we'll dive into the fascinating world of scarcity and its effects on consumer behavior. Be sure to check out our related video on the science behind scarcity for an in-depth look at how this concept influences spending habits.